Hi, welcome back to Waxing On. It's Wednesday, that means classic rock. Yes, it was a long weekend here in my neck of the woods, so Monday was a holiday. One of the few 4-day long weekends we get. Not unlike maybe American Thanksgiving. Yes, you seem to get a long holiday in that one too. Anyways, we're back today looking at musician from Windsor, Ontario, and one of the members of one of the legendary bands of the 60s, going into the 70s. And that was The Band. We still have two members that were remaining. Three, unfortunately, have passed away. Right now, Robbie Robertson and Garth Hudson are the only two remaining members of the group. And when I have a chance, I like to stop by and check again. I mentioned like secondhand stores or the discount bins. But when I can't get there, I like to go through the streaming networks because that's like one gigantic secondhand store. You know, everything's in there. These bands, from what they recorded in their early days right through to the present, it's available. So I like going in there and kind of searching through and see if there's something unusual I could find. And I did today, featuring Garth Hudson. Now, Garth was one of the ones that I like to focus on when I listen to and watch the band. Of course, Robbie Robertson, Levon Helm, sure. But Garth added so much in that background, those little extra touches that really made the songs come alive. And in 2001, he put out an album called The Sea to the North. Now, this album was similar, again, production as to, if you remember McCartney's first solo album called McCartney, where Paul played all the album. He played the instruments, vocals, it was all Paul. Same with John Fogerty with Center Field. All the instruments, John Fogerty. This album, Garth is playing them all. It's pipe organ, it's saxophone, accordion, and whatever else he can get his hands on. Now, if you were expecting music like he played with the band, not the album for you. Again, this is Garth's chance to stretch out, do what he wants to do, present the music he wants to present, and this is the album. Now, it's a little different. It spans a lot of different categories of music. There's jazz in there, there's some classical feel to it, maybe a little new age feel. It's very hard to describe just what it is. So my interest in listening to it was because of who it was. I wanted to see what he could do when he's out on his own, out in the forefront, not just adding to what was going on. Now, remember the band, big, I'm going to say 67 to 77 in that era. Then they split up. Robbie went off to do his own thing. And the band kind of reformed again without Robbie Robertson and did some work later on. But the original band was in that first decade. Now, 2001, that's quite a stretch in between before this album came out. Now, what's also unique about this album is it came out in two versions. I'll just give you the breakdown on the first version here. 6 songs. Song Saga of Cyrus and Mulgrew, The Sea to the North, The Breakers, Third Order, Dark Star, which you may recognize as a cover, I believe Grateful Dead in there, and one called Little Island. Now, the second version of the album came out later. This was about 2012, and it's called the Collector's Edition, still called Sea to the North. The only difference is we've added another song in there called No Longer. So it's claiming to be a collector's edition, something unique. We've added an extra tune in there, a little something more for you to kind of get your teeth into. But again, if you want to check this out, it's a great album. He's a great musician, has a lot of good ideas, and he brought a lot to all the groups he's played with. You remember we talked about him and a lot of other members of the band being part of Ringo's album last week. The main thing I just want to caution you on, you got to approach it with an open mind. Yes, maybe if it doesn't click at first, maybe the next song will. But it's more of a chance of exploration of this musical talent than it is recognizing the songs. I mean, these are all very different from what you'd come to expect from his history with the band, but well worth checking out. So that's it for today. Classic rock because he is a legendary performer with a legendary band. his own first album, doing what he wants. It's Garth Hudson, The Seed of the North. Hope you check it out. Just a caution as well, probably on the streaming networks. I do not imagine you're going to find this one in stores. You can find it on Amazon. Let me say, yes, it is available, a hard copy on Amazon. But for secondhand stores, probably not really an item you're going to come across. So streaming network, there are sellers out there. If you want the hard copy, that's great. Check it out and see what he's doing today. That's it for Wednesday. We'll see you back here again on Friday as we wrap up the week, get you ready for the weekend. Till then, everybody take care, stay safe. We'll see you on Friday.